And we are back here inside the Cleveland Heights Tigers Gymnasium as we're about ready for the boys edition of the varsity Tigers versus Bearcats action. The Coach Karen battle and the Lady Tigers varsity basketball team won the first game 60-43. And now we've got the second half of doubleheader varsity action. It'll be the Cleveland Heights Tigers and Coach Cruz standing at 3-2 and 1-0 in Lake Erie League action, facing up against their Lake Erie League opponent in the Bedford Bearcats. I'm Pat McGuire. You're live inside the Nova Title Agency pregame show as we will now pause here momentarily for the playing of our national anthem. And we are back here at Cleveland Heights High School, about ready for the team introductions for the Cleveland Heights Tigers and the Bedford Bearcats. Regional and conference foes once again facing off. Always a good rivalry, the Cleveland Heights Tigers and the Bedford Bearcats. If you remember, in the fall, Cleveland Heights got the better of the Bedford Bearcats on the football field, so we'll see what happens on the court here from Cleveland Heights High School. So we've got the introductions for the Bedford Bearcats. Starting today for your Cleveland Heights Tigers will be Christian Dillard, as well as Nigel Martin, Jalen Withers, as well Greg Pitts, number 31. Interesting starting decision there for the Cleveland Heights Tigers. And Jamal Coles rounding out the starting five for Coach Cruz. Not playing tonight in street clothes actually will be Rob Morgan, so he's normally in the starting five for the Tigers. As Rob Morgan, usually his stat line may not be the greatest as he averages only 2.8 points per game, but those 4 assists and 4 rebounds that he has as well are things that are not necessarily as prevalent, but his energy always important for the Cleveland Heights Tigers offense. About ready to start here, Jalen Withers will take the tip-off for the Cleveland Heights Tigers. So Jalen Withers standing at the midcourt circle. He will take the tip-off for Cleveland Heights. And he wins that back to Christian Dillard. Across half court, Christian Dillard. Back over to Nigel Martin. Martin over to Jamal Coles. Rather, that was Pitts. Now Nigel Martin on the left wing. He takes it towards the free throw line over to Withers. And Withers from Dillard over to Greg Pitts. And it's taken away by Chris Harris. Harris going the other direction. Back out at the point. So down low now to Let airballs that one, but on the offensive rebound, there is Simmons. Simmons back into Let. He puts it up with the right hand, and it's good. So back the other way. 2-0 is the score. Bedford Bearcats leading. Jalen Withers at the point now. Back over to Pitts. And Withers now to the baseline for Nigel Martin. Martin on the low block, puts that one up, no good. Soaring in for the rebound was Withers, taking this one the other direction, over to Let, and back over to Smith Lowry. Lowry with the shot, it is good, so a 5-0 lead to start for the Bedford Bearcats. That was Viterio Smith Lowry. Greg Pitts handling it at the top of the three-point line. Tries the floater. His shot is blocked by Let. So the possession will stay with the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Inbounding this one will be Christian Dillard. 6:18 left to go in this first quarter. Score is 5-0. The Bedford Bearcats leading. Withers tries the straight-on three ball. No good. Rebounded by Let, the senior 6'3" power forward. Anthony Let, that is. And now a foul, actually a travel will be called. That travel is called on Chase Smith, number 2. So possession back to the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Score 5-0, 2 minutes have elapsed here at Cleveland Heights High School. Jalen Withers coming off of a screen. Pitts has it. He'll give it instead to Coles. Back over to Pitts. Far corner three ball. No good. Too strong. But he gets his own rebound. And in down low to Nigel Martin. Martin is thrown to the ground and lost possession. Taken away by Viterio Smith Lowry. So Lowry to Harris in the corner. Back over to Simmons. Simmons back to Smith Lowry. And Chase Harris tries for the cut, and it is good on the cut there from Chase Harris. Chase Harris, the 6'3" shooting guard, with a beautiful pass there as the score is 7-0. Early on, the Bedford Bearcats leading the way. So the first timeout called by Coach Michael Cruz, for the Cleveland Heights Tigers. The score is 7-0. We'll take a quick break. Nova Title Agency brings you this timeout as the Tigers trail 7-0. So the ball will be put back in play by Jalen Withers. Manny Hill in there. The junior 5'10" guard back over to Withers across the timeline. 5:15 left to go in this first quarter. The Tigers trail 7-0. Pitts to Manny Hill on the left wing. He's got Coles at the free throw line. Coles grabs it and will take it to the near corner. Jalen Withers driving, loses possession, hangs in the air, gives it to Manny Hill. Straight on three-pointer, just rims out. Fighting for the offensive rebound. Greg back over to Greg Pitts at the free throw line. Airballs the floater, but he is fouled on the way there by Anthony Let. So the first team foul on the Bedford Bearcats. Checking back in, Christian Dillard for Jamal Coles. And inbounded to Christian Dillard. Dillard back to the near corner for Manny Hill. And pass to Jalen Withers. Looked like it was tipped away there by Viterio Smith-Lowry. So on the re-entry, it'll be Christian Dillard to Gregory Pitts. Pitts back over to Dillard. And swinging it around the perimeter are the Tigers. And no-look pass into the free throw line for Withers. Too strong on that jumper, but taken by Manny Hill. His shot is blocked. And Nigel Martin on the low post gets the Tigers on the board. 7-2 now the score. The Bedford Bearcats leading. Across half court is Chase Harris. And a foul called. Actually a traveling violation on Chase Harris. So the ball will be turned back over to the Cleveland Heights Tigers. The Bedford Bearcats coming off their win yesterday, 74-56 over the Olentangy Orange High School from Columbus area. Nigel Martin on the baseline, but Jalen Withers steps out of bounds, so the Tigers turn it back over. Just a tick under 4 minutes left to go in this first quarter. 7-2 is your score. The Bedford Bearcats leading. It is Trey Miller handling the ball for the Bearcats. Now over on the right wing to Chase Harris. Harris wants to go baseline. He's double teamed there, but puts it up and off the glass. And good. A great take there by Chase Harris. So it's Bearcats early so far. Withers tries to get it to Martin for the far corner three. No good, and rebounded by Trey Miller. Going the other direction, Viterio Smith-Lowry in transition with the layup. It is 11-2. Cleveland Heights trail early. Give 5 points to Viterio Smith-Lowry. Christian Dillard at the point. No look pass to Nigel Martin. Tries to draw the foul, but puts the layup up and good anyway. 11-4. Cleveland Heights trail the Bedford Bearcats. 3:04 left to go in this first quarter. And Nigel Martin, rather that's Jalen Withers trying to move his feet, picks up the blocking foul. So it'll be Bearcats basketball still on the far sideline. Inbounding this one will be Trey Miller. Miller inbounds it to Malik Simmons. And Lett on the other side head is his shot block by Withers. Martin taking it the other way. And he is crushed on the way there. Looked like that one hurt a lot for Martin going up to the basket. So Martin looks to be a bit shaken up. Nonetheless, it looks like he'll try to gut it out and head to the free throw line. Two shots coming for Nigel Martin. Checking into the game for the Bedford Bearcats, that is Streeter, Brucian Streeter. Nigel Martin's first free throw is up, and it is good. That'll be 5 points for Nigel Martin, all 5 of the Tigers' points. That's the second team foul, by the way, on the Bedford Bearcats. So Martin with one more free throw coming. The officials wipe up a wet spot on the floor there, and Nigel Martin will have his second free throw. He sets and shoots that one, and it is also good. Score now 11-6, 2:50 left to go in this first quarter. Bearcats jumped out to an 11-2 lead, have the Tigers on their heels. So right wing, it'll be Chase Harris. Harris back out to the point for Trey Miller. Miller back to Harris. Looking for Streeter on the cut. But it'll be back out to Trey Miller at the point, guarded by Withers. Almost a reaching foul over to Viterio Smith-Lowry. Smith-Lowry guarded by Manny Hill. Good defense so far from the Tigers. Back out at the point is Trey Miller. Miller gets this one over to Chase Harris. Harris reverses against Pitts, but a foul there on Pitts on the floor. That'll be the second foul on the Tigers. Greg Pitts will check out. Checking in is Landon Brown. Landon doesn't see a whole lot of action, but Rob Morgan inactive tonight for the Tigers. Thus, Landon Brown checking in. He switches over to Chase Harris. Back over to Malik Simmons. Simmons goes up with it, and too far for Jalen Withers, and now a jump ball, Nigel Martin and Bruceon Streeter. So the possession arrow changes back. It is the Bearcats' ball, but now changes back in favor of the Tigers. So the pass back there intended for Miller just gets away and now into the hands of Chase Harris. 1:38 left to go. In this first quarter, it's 11-6. Cleveland Heights trails the Bedford Bearcats. Chase Harris at the point, over to Trey Miller. Bearcats with not a lot of movement towards the basket so far this possession. 1:21 left to go in this first quarter. And now Trey Miller on the right wing. It's intercepted by Manny Hill. And it takes it uncontested and easily into the basket for Cleveland Heights. 11-8 is now the score. And a foul called on Jalen Withers in transition. Boy, it looked like he had it stolen clean there, did Withers, but 1:04 left to go in the first quarter. Score still 11-8, Bedford leading. That'll be the second foul on Jalen Withers, the third team foul on the Tigers. So inbounding it will be Chase Harris. Harris gets it in to Malik Simmons. Simmons on the far corner, stolen away, and a foul. Landon Brown helped up by his head coach, Mike Cruz. Landon Brown trying to make the most of his few minutes here today. 59.3 seconds left to go in this opening frame. 11-8 is the score. Bedford leading the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Bedford into their zone. Back over is Landon Brown. He's got it at the top of the three-point line. Withers, no look pass to Martin, but it's tipped away and taken away by Malik Simmons. He's got 43 seconds left and stolen away again by the Tigers. Back the other way is Christian Dillard at the free throw line to Martin. In transition, and one for Nigel Martin. 36 seconds left to go. Nigel Martin off the Christian Dillard steal was hit on the arm, and he put it up and in. That'll make the score 11-10 with the Bedford lead. The Bedford lead in jeopardy as Nigel Martin has one free throw upcoming for the Tigers. Jalen Withers checks out. Back out is Jamal Coles. Nigel Martin toes the free throw line. His shot is up and a bit too short off the rim, so it'll remain a 1-point deficit for the Tigers. But the Tigers back into their full court press. Malik Simmons in the backcourt, ahead now to Streeter. Streeter to Viterio Smith, and it's blocked by Coles. Streeter going back. He puts it up, no good. The putback by Malik Simmons is good with 15 seconds left. 13-10 is the score. Now 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Martin has the ball at the point, 7 seconds now. Martin off the pick from Coles, corner three. It's Lanham, no good. 2 seconds left. Manny Hill's going to have to hoist from the corner. No good and short. So at the end of the first quarter, Cleveland Heights trails 13-10 to the Bedford Bearcats. Good job by the Tigers of fighting back from that early deficit. So far, it's been just about all Nigel Martin for the Cleveland Heights Tigers, as he owns 8 points out of the Tigers' 10. And now you can see the Cleveland Heights Tigers marching band in full force here. At the end of the first quarter, the score 13-10. The Bedford Bearcats lead. We'll take a quick timeout here on HeightsTigers.com. This timeout brought to you by Nova Title Agency. Back here at Cleveland Heights High School to be Tigers basketball to start this second quarter. 8 minutes on the clock. It is 13-10, the Bedford Bearcats lead. Manny Hill will start with the basketball. He'll drive left to the elbow. Baseline pass to Jalen Withers. Hangs, but he passes to the corner. Three ball no good from Landon Brown. Grabs his own rebound. Tries the Euro step, and it is good off the back rim. 13-10. Now the score ahead quickly. Viterio Smith for Bedford getting behind that Tigers defense. It's now 15-12. 7 points for Viterio Smith. Smith Lowry, that is. 7:23 left to go in this first half. 15-12 is the score in favor of the Bedford Bearcats. Jalen Withers, right wing three. No good. Rebounded out of the hands of Streeter, but given over to Chase Harris. And Harris across half court. He picks up his dribble with 6:58 left to go. And again over to Viterio Smith Lowry. His three-point shot no good. Manny Hill trying to push it. He's across half court at the free throw line. Hangs up for the left-handed layup and good. And that is the MO of the Cleveland Heights Tigers, is getting turnovers and heading into transition. And a carrying violation called now on Trey Miller. So 6:38 left to go in this first half. Score is 15-14. The Bedford Bearcats are leading. Inbound goes to Manny Hill. Bedford back into that zone. At the free throw line, that's Lanham. Now into the far corner for Jalen Withers. Withers with that left hand has it poked away. Taken by Malik Simmons. Simmons ahead now for Trey Miller. He tries to go up. His shot is blocked, but an offensive foul is called first. Taking that charge is Manny Hill. A great job in transition there. .6:16 left to go in this second quarter. That foul charged to Trey Miller, his first. Christian Dillard across half court. Now Landon Brown and Manny Hill. Tigers pass it around the perimeter to Hill, now into Withers at the free throw line. He's got wide open man in the corner there. Given over to Landon Brown. Back over to Withers at the right elbow. He elevates and it is good. Jalen Withers, after the made basket, Manny Hill with the foul. So the score is 16-15. .550 left to go in this first half. 16-15, the Tigers lead. Nearly a travel there by Trey Miller. But now the Tigers going in the full court press. Miller ahead now to Viterio Smith Lowry. He dribbles out of pressure. Pass Withers, tries the no-look pass, but Streeter wasn't there. And that pass flies out of bounds. So the ball will come back to the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Back the other way is Christian Dillard. Dillard at the free throw line. Back over to Landon Brown. His three-pointer no good. Coming down with that rebound, Chase Harris. Now Viterio Smith Lowry. Double teamed, he'll have to give it up. Now to the left wing rather. Chase Harris misses everything, but cleaned up by Bruceon Streeter. So Nigel Martin ahead now, tries the Euro step. He's fouled, but they call a travel beforehand. Boy, what a change there. So instead of a two-point basket for the Tigers, it goes down as a travel, and the score remains 17-16. The Bearcats of Bedford lead. Withers nearly with a foul. Viterio Smith Lowry. Given over to Chase Harris. Harris guarded well by Landon Brown, and Brown goes down in a heap, and he is hurt. With 4:48 left to go in the second quarter, Landon Brown is down on the floor. So with 4:48 left to go in this second quarter, the Bearcats of Bedford lead 17-16. Brown in a lot of pain here as the Tigers will head to their own bench. Brown is luckily up and moving. Never like to speculate on an injury, but boy, that didn't look good for Brown. Just entering into the rotation for the Tigers. Quick inbound pass to Lett for Bedford, and it is good. Anthony Lett. He's a lot to handle on that low post. He extends the Bearcats' lead to 19-16. Dillard to Withers. Withers, left wing three ball. It's good. So that'll even the score. Jalen Withers with 5 points now as he hits that three-point basket. And Jamal Coles nearly intercepted that pass, but off of his fingertips and out of bounds. (19-19) is your score. 4:23 left to go in this first half. Inbound goes to Trey Miller. And now at the point is Viterio Smith-Lowry. He's double-teamed, but a good step-back dribble there. His pass over to Chase Harris. Harris against Withers on the left wing. Tries to drive baseline, but is called for a travel. So the ball is turned back over to the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Christian Dillard, the senior point guard. Yeah, correction there, he's actually a junior, but as Coach Cruz calls him, he's the true floor general for this team. Really able to control the emotion and especially control the basketball for Coach Mike Cruz. You can always count on him. The floater no good there from Pitts. He gets his own miss and follows it up with a good floater. Score now 21-19 for Cleveland Heights. Viterio Smith-Lowry. The other way, he's now double team, passes out of it. And Trey Miller gets this one ahead to, that is Chase Harris. As he drives to the basket, he draws the blocking foul. So that foul will be charged to Greg Pitts. Christian Dillard, in 5 games played, as I mentioned before, he's got 26 assists, which averages out to 5.2 assists a game. A true floor general, as Coach Cruz calls him. The first free throw from Chase Harris is up, and it is good. So the score 21-20 now, with another free throw coming. 3:26 left to go in this first half. The second of 2 free throws coming for Harris is up, and it is good. So a tie ball game yet again. 3:25 left to go in this first half. Dillard back the other way. And Bedford still in that zone. Nigel Martin in the far corner. Withers coming off of a screen. Back over to Dillard along the perimeter. Now Dillard at the free throw line. He taking his passes intercepted, though. Chase Harris with the steal. Now he'll try to go himself. Floater up and good. Over the outstretched arm of Jamal Coles. And at 6'4", that's tough to do. Nigel Martin now will drive baseline. He puts it up. He is fouled by Lett on the way to the basket. 2:51 left to go in this first half. The Tigers trail by 2, 23-21. So Nigel Martin will step back up to the free throw line. His first shot, no good as it rolls up. Always a funny story with Nigel Martin. He's always got a matching headband, a Nike headband that he wears. But the caveat is that he always wears his Nike logo facing down. Now the story behind that is that, first of all, it always has to match his jersey that he's wearing, as his second free throw is up and it is good. But that headband that he wears always has to be pointed down because his rationale there, as a timeout is called, Martin wants that Nike logo facing down because he says he's got to earn it before he can turn that Nike logo faced up. And that is the type of player that you love to have if you're Coach Mike Cruz, as a timeout is called by the Bedford Bearcats. 23-22 is the score. The Bearcats leading by 1 point. Leading the way, as I mentioned, for the Tigers is Nigel Martin. He's got 9 points so far in this first half. The first timeout taken of this game was a 30-second timeout for the Bearcats. So back into action. The ball inbounded to Trey Miller. Miller in the backcourt. Now he'll cross. He's guarded by Christian Dillard. And now Taborn at the point gives it back over to Chase Harris. Isaiah Taborn just checking in for the Bearcats. He wears number 13. And back over, Chase Harris near the half-court line. He's got the basketball. 2:11 left to go in the third quarter. Now double-teamed is Taborn, and a traveling call. So yet another turnover for the Bedford Bearcats. This time it's Isaiah Taborn. 2:08 left to go in this first half. The score 23-22. Cleveland Heights trail by 1. Jalen Withers, the deep right wing three, he's got it. And Jalen Withers is 2 of 2 behind the three-point line. That'll make it 25-23. With 1 minute and 51 seconds left to go. Cleveland Heights leading now by 2. Chase Harris back the other way, gives it over to number 4, Malik Simmons, and he flushes it home with 2 hands. 25-25. Now it's a tie ball game with 1:36 left to go in this first half. Christian Dillard at the point. Now steps up right wing, hesitation dribble, lofts it up there, no good. And rebounded by Simmons. It was out of the hands of Nigel Martin. And across half court there is Malik Simmons. Simmons nearly loses the handle, giving it over to Viterio Smith-Lowry. Now back at the point, Chase Harris, 1:10 left to go in the first half. Trey Miller all the way out there. He gives it over to Chase Harris. Harris driving now, runs over Jamal Coles on his way and regains possession. 60 seconds left to go in the half. Now driving baseline is Miller. He puts it up wildly, no good. Manny Hill fights for the rebound on the floor, and they call a jump ball. The possession will stay with the Bedford Bearcats. 53.8 seconds left to go. And not good news for the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Landon Brown, who we saw in a lot of pain on the floor, exiting the gym in a sling, so not likely that we'll see him again tonight or anytime soon. 53.8 seconds left, and a foul called before the ball is even inbounded on the Cleveland Heights Tigers. So that foul on Nigel Martin. Checking back in for the Tigers is Jalen Withers. Withers with 8 points, Nigel Martin with 9 points. But that is the 7th team foul on the Tigers, so the Bearcats will head to the free throw line. Stepping up to the free throw line is Malik Simmons with a lot of backspin on that when he hits his first. And yet another coming as it's a 1-and-1. Score now 26-25. Malik Simmons back up to the free throw line. And he hits both. So the score extended, the lead extended for the Bearcats, 27-25. 50 seconds left here to go in this first half. Dillard, left wing, pulls up for the 16-footer and misses short, but rebounded by Coles. Coles has it taken away now, 40 seconds left to go. Chase Harris across half court. Now he'll try to take it himself and puts up a layup, but it was airballed and out of bounds off the foot of Jalen Withers. So 31.2 seconds remaining in the first half. Greg Pitts checks back in for Jalen Withers. The score 27-25, the Bedford Bearcats lead. Inbounded quickly to Simmons. Simmons has his shot blocked by Coles. Back the other way is Nigel Martin. He's got 25 seconds. Alley-oop there to Coles, but he wasn't ready for it. Back over to Manny Hill. Hill dribbles out with 20 seconds, takes a shot, no good from 3. 15 seconds left now. Headed is Viterio Smith-Lowry. He tries to double pump, but the ball goes out of bounds off of his leg. So 10.9 seconds remaining. Cleveland Heights will try to get the last shot of the half. Manny Hill will inbound. Christian Dillard takes it. 8 seconds left now. 7. Dillard across half court. He's got 5. Right wing, Dillard gives it to Hill. He's got 2 seconds. Withers now. Double pumps, layup. No good. And the ball just won't go in there at the end of the half for Cleveland Heights. And as we head to halftime, the score, the Bedford Bearcats leading 27-25 as the Cleveland Heights Tigers the Bedford Bearcats jumped out to a big lead in that first quarter. Cleveland Heights have been fighting back ever since. Nigel Martin with 8 points, Jalen Withers with 9 points for the Cleveland Heights Tigers. The rest of the team is Landon Brown. He's got 2 points. Greg Pitts with 2 points as well. Manny Hill with 4 points. You're now inside the Nova Title Agency halftime show. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors here at HeightsTigers.com. Nova Title Agency, Panini's Bar and Grill. Order at Panini's Coventry. Get 10% off any game day food purchase, as well as Cleveland Heights Dental. They accept all insurance plans, including Medicaid. Visit www.cleheightsdental.com. And as well as the Wine Spot on Lee Road and New Heights Grill. We'd like to thank all of those sponsors. And now at halftime, as you're in the Nova Title Agency halftime show, we'll leave you as you can listen to the Cleveland Heights Tigers marching band as you enjoy your halftime. It is 27-25, the Bedford Bearcats leading your Cleveland Heights Tigers. And we are back here inside the Nova Title Agency halftime show. The Bedford Bearcats leading the Cleveland Heights Tigers here from Cleveland Heights High School, 27-25. The final seconds ticking away of halftime. Leading the way for Cleveland Heights, that's Nigel Martin. He's got 9 points. Jalen Withers with 8 points. That comprises 17 of the 25 points for the Cleveland Heights Tigers. And back out onto the floor for Cleveland Heights will be Greg Pitts, Jamal Coles, Jalen Withers, Nigel Martin, and Christian Dillard. Dillard doing a great job tonight controlling the point with the absence of Rob Morgan. Morgan, the emotional leader of the Tigers. But as Coach Cruz mentions all the time, he's the true floor general, is Christian Dillard. Ball inbounded to Nigel Martin. A bit of a moving zone for Bedford now. Nigel Martin off the pick from Dillard. Martin takes the contact, puts it up and in, tying the score right out of the gate, 27-27, and 11 points for Nigel Martin. At the point now, Trey Miller, he's just across the circle. And a foul there as Jamal Coles was coming to help off of the screen. So 7:35 left to go in the third quarter. That's the first foul on Jamal Coles and the first team foul of the half for the Tigers. Ball is inbounded to Trey Miller. Miller gets the switch. Coles back on him. Now over to Malik Simmons. He's guarded by Withers. And now double teamed is Trey Miller. He dribbles out of that. He's guarded by Withers, taken away by Withers, and Dillard now the other way. He's only got Viterio Smith Lowry ahead of him. Dillard goes up for the layup, but he is fouled on the way there. And that's exactly what Coach Cruz wanted. The energy needs to pick up for the Tigers, especially forcing turnovers in transition. 7:11 left to go in this third quarter. 27-27 is the score. Christian Dillard sets up at the free throw line. His first shot, no good, however. Dillard yet to hit the scoreboard, at least in terms of points, so he's looking to get his first point this evening. And he misses both, however. That rebounded by Trey Miller. Miller in the other direction, giving it to Chase Harris. Harris to Simmons. Simmons now to Viterio Smith Lowry. Pulls up from about 10 feet and no good. Rebounded by Withers. Ahead to Martin. Martin on the left wing. He'll slash to the basket. He loses control of the ball, though, taken away by the Bearcats. Headed the other direction is Chase Harris. Harris wants it himself. He puts it up and through the arms of Jalen Withers makes the left-handed scoop layup. 27-29, Bedford leading. 6:36 left to go in this third quarter. Nigel Martin with the ball. And back into the 2-3 zone go the Bearcats. Martin wants the screen from Dillard. Withers in the corner for three. He's got it. 3 for 3 from three-point range is Jalen Withers. He's got 11 points, matching the Tigers' team high. 30-29 is now the score. Cleveland Heights with their first lead of the second half. At the point is Chase Harris. Harris to the right wing now. He wanted Streeter, but instead he'll give it to Simmons. Simmons now driving, throws up a wild shot, no good, and rebounded by Jamal Coles. Coles quickly ahead to Martin. Martin now Euro steps the defender and puts up another layup. It's good. 32-29, Nigel Martin with 13 points. 5:45 left to go in the third quarter. Trey Miller now over to Viterio Smith Lowry. At the point, over to Simmons. Now Miller back to Simmons in the far corner. Trying to drive baseline against Pitts. Back out to Trey Miller. Miller with the floater. No good, and rebounded by Coles. Coach Cruz going with the big lineup as Withers pulls up for the long two-pointer. His foot was on the line. 34-29 now as Withers has 13. And now spinning is Chase Harris, putting up a wild layup, no good, but rebounded by Streeter. Has his shot blocked by Coles. Back the other way, it's Gregory Pitts, and he runs over a defender. That'll be a charge. Offensive foul. That charge taken by Trey Miller. Miller was set as Pitts basically crossed half court there. So that'll be the third foul on Greg Pitts. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. To the right wing, it's Chase Harris. Simmons at the top of the three-point line, now over to Trey Miller. Miller back to Simmons. He's double-teamed, back to Trey Miller, swinging it around the perimeter. And Euro step, big shot block there from Jamal Coles. That's Chase Harris had his shot block. Trey Miller on the left wing, guarded by Jalen Withers. 4:30 left to go in the third quarter. Chase Harris gives it over. Smith Lowry wants the straight on three-pointer, way short, and rebounded by Nigel Martin. Ahead now, Jalen Withers in transition, slams it home with two hands. And it'll be a technical foul on Withers. And another technical foul. It'll be double technicals. One on Chase Harris, one on Jalen Withers. And Jalen Withers, as security, is actually going to have to get out onto the court. And this could get chippy pretty quickly, as it was initially a dunk in transition by Jalen Withers and a little bit of a shove from Withers, garnering him a technical. And now a couple of people will have to be escorted out of the building. 36-29 is the score. 4:15 left to go in this third quarter as the referees look to sort out the situation. As it was initially called, it was a technical foul on Jalen Withers following his two-handed dunk. And then on the aftermath of that, Chase Harris gave him a bit of a shove. So double technical fouls were called. So a technical foul on Jalen Withers and a technical foul on Chase Harris. Viterio Smith-Lowry will shoot the two shots that come from the Jalen Withers technical foul. 36-29 is the score. First free throw, no good from Viterio Smith-Lowry. He'll toe the line for the second. Those long green sleeves from Lowry. And the second shot also no good, so no points given up from Jalen Withers. Now Withers will head to the free throw line to add to his point total. He's got 15 points, 2 of which coming on that last dunk attempt. Withers toes the line. Barely any give in those knees. He shoots, and it is short on the first. Withers stands very upright in his free throw stance. And the second one is up and also no good. So 2 technical fouls, net 0 points across the board. And possession will be retained by the Bedford Bearcats. The officials come to the scorer's table. Not sure what they're trying to get sorted out here. It should be Bearcat basketball. Actually, a change. It will be Cleveland Heights Tigers basketball. Not exactly sure how that shakes out, but nonetheless, Nigel Martin will have the ball with 4:15 left to go in the third quarter. Back over to Martin. Euro step into the lane. He puts it up, and it bounces home off the friendly rim. 38-29, Cleveland Heights with a big lead so far in this third quarter. They trailed by 2 at halftime. Now they've got a 38-29 lead. Driving to the basket is Chase Harris. Gets his own miss, and it just rolls home off the rim, 38-31. Back the other way is Manny Hill. Hill, a little bit out of control, but he draws the blocking foul. So that foul will be charged to Trey Miller, number 3. His first. Check that, that's his second foul. So Bruce Streeter checks out for the Bearcats. Inbound coming here from Christian Dillard. Into Withers. Withers, 3-ball is good! Jalen Withers is unconscious from 3 tonight. He's 4 for 4. He's got 18 points, 3:30 left to go in the third quarter. Chase Harris, now the other direction. He wants one, and he hits as well. Back-to-back 3-pointers. And Harris talking trash on the way back to Nigel Martin. Martin wants the basketball. 3:15 left to go in the third quarter. Martin will launch. 3-pointer is good! And you can feel the tension here at Cleveland Heights High School. It's 44-34. Nigel Martin now has 18. Chase Harris guarded by Jalen Withers. He is stopped there on the baseline. Good pass, though. Putting up the wild shot was Trey Miller, and rebounded by Jamal Coles ahead to Manny Hill. It was too far for him, but Nigel Martin has it on the baseline. He puts it up, and good off the glass. 20 points for Nigel Martin. And a foul in transition on defense, Manny Hill. 46-34. (46-34) is your score. Cleveland Heights leading by 12. They have netted 12 points. Actually make it 14 points as they trailed by 2 at halftime in this third quarter. 2:35 left to go in the third quarter. Dribbling it at the point is Trey Miller. He's against Christian Dillard. And Malik Simmons now has it. Driving left, he is fouled on the way to the basket by Nigel Martin. So the foul will be on the floor. That foul actually will be charged to Jalen Withers on the reaching foul. So Withers will check out. In favor of him is Gregory Pitts. Inbound to Lett, given back to Chase Harris for the Bearcats. Step back 3. No good, actually, he'll pass out of it. So at the point is Trey Miller. Miller off the pick from Lett. Corner 3 for Simmons is short, and would have been a good rebound from Manny Hill. Instead, it'll be an over-the-back foul on Manny Hill. So back to the other baseline. It will be Bearcats basketball, 46-34. 2:07 left to go in the third quarter. Inbound will go nearly 5 seconds for the Bearcats, but inbounded to Viterio Smith-Lowry. Chase Harris, far corner 3, no good. Rebounded by Manny Hill, and losing the basketball, but regaining possession is Manny. Stepping into a 3-pointer, it is good! With that right to left rotation on Manny Hill's shot, that ball is good. It's a 15-point lead for the Tigers. 49-34. 1:40 left to go in this third quarter. It's an offensive explosion for Cleveland Heights. Chase Harris guarded by Jamal Coles. Using that offhand spin move, though, up and good. Tremendous offensive spin move there from Chase Harris. Full timeout will be called by the Bedford Bearcats. 49-36 is your score. Nigel Martin leading the way with 20 points again for the Tigers. One of the more underrated Ohio prospects. Jalen Withers obviously garners a lot of the attention, being the commit to Louisville. However, Nigel Martin really has played himself into the conversation of Ohio's best players so far, as he averages 22 points per game coming into this game. Had a tremendous game last week against Lutheran East in that tremendous tinderbox of a stadium, of a basketball gym. And a full timeout here as it's 49-36. That timeout brought to you by Nova Title Agency. We'd always like to thank all of our sponsors. Nova Title Agency, Panini's Bar and Grill, 10% off any game day food purchase. Order at Panini's Coventry now. Cleveland Heights Dental. Visit www.cleheightsdental.com. They accept all insurance plans, including Medicaid. Back to the action here. $1:27 left to go in this third quarter. 49-36 is the score. Gregory Pitts takes it all the way down the floor, up and good off the glass. So headed back the other direction is Trey Miller. Miller across the timeline. He gives it over to Smith Lowry. Back over to Miller. Chase Harris on the near corner. Double team there. He gets it to Simmons. Simmons hangs in the air over Nigel Martin and up off the glass and good. So back into the full court press go the Bearcats. 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Martin ahead now. Pulls up for three. And he got it! 54-38. 44 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Nigel Martin with 23 points. And a hand check foul on Gregory Pitts. But boy, oh boy, has Nigel Martin been tremendous tonight. 23 points for the senior. So 7th team foul on the Tigers. That means that the Bearcats are going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way. 37.3 seconds left in this third quarter. 54-38 is your score. The free throw is up and good from Trey Miller. Miller has 3 points. Leading the way for the Bearcats is Chase Harris, though, with 15. Malik Simmons with 8. Second free throw from Miller, no good, and a strong rebound by Jamal Coles. Nigel Martin now across half court. He's tripped up. No foul call, though. Going the other way, Trey Miller. He'll try to go up. His shot is blocked by Manny Hill. 27 seconds left to go in the quarter. Martin back the other way. And a foul is called on the way up. Nigel Martin will have 2 free throws coming. It's been a hectic pace here in the last minute or so in the third quarter. (54-39). Nigel Martin will head to the free throw line. 22.4 seconds left. Martin's first free throw is good. He's got 24. Christian Dillard checking in, as well as Ibn Edward. Ibn Edward, the sophomore. Checking out is Manny Hill. Looks like Manny actually may have been cut on the lip there, so he'll head over to the athletic training table as the free throw from Nigel Martin is good. He's got 25 points on the evening through not even 3 full quarters yet. 20 seconds left now. Chase Harris across half court. He's got 15 seconds. Guarded by Ibn Edward. 11 seconds now. Taking this one is Smith Lowry. He loses the basketball. The ball's on the floor. 5 seconds left to go. Let ahead to Simmons. The layup is up and good with 1 second, 2 seconds. And that is the end of the quarter there, so make it 10 points for Malik Simmons just at the end of the quarter there. So the score at the end of 3 is 56-41. Cleveland Heights netting 17 points in that third quarter. So we'll take a quick timeout here. This timeout brought to you by Panini's of Coventry. 10% off any game day food purchase. Order at Panini's Coventry today. We'll take a quick timeout, 30 seconds away from fourth quarter action here at Cleveland Heights High School. So back to the action here at Cleveland Heights High School. The score being 56-41. Inbound coming for the Bearcats. Inbounded to Viterio Smith-Lowry. He's across the timeline, guarded by Christian Dillard. Over to Malik Simmons. Worth noting tonight that Bedford, the Bearcats, have only run a 7-man rotation. Cleveland Heights much deeper than the Bearcats. So that foul, though, on the Tigers, that'll be charged to Jamal Coles. That is his second, team's 8th. So if there's a way for Bedford to get back into this game, it is at the free throw line. 56-41. First free throw for Viterio Smith-Lowry is up, and it is good. So, making the front end of the 1-1, he'll have another one coming. That's 8 points for Viterio Smith-Lowry. The second free throw up, and it is good as well. So make the score 56-43. The inbounder will be Jalen Withers. Now Christian Dillard in the backcourt. 7:40 left to go in this fourth quarter. It's a 13-point advantage for the Cleveland Heights Tigers. Martin thought about the three. Jalen Withers also thought about the three. Instead, Martin will drive. Gives it off to Dillard. Dillard to Coles for an 18-footer. No good. Rebound out of the hands of Streeter. And it looked like it was friendly fire there. Chase Harris and Streeter both going for the same ball. Ended up out of bounds off of the Bearcats. So with 7:20 left to go in the game, Jalen Withers will inbound it to Christian Dillard. And nearly turnover. Withers able to regain possession. Driving there was Jamarian Lanham. But Lanham fouled on the way up. 7:12 left to go in the game. 56-43 as the freshman will head to the free throw line. Lanham will be shooting 2. His first shot is up, and it is good. Cleveland Heights with a very bright future in terms of talent on this team. Christian Dillard, only a junior. Manny Hill, only a junior. And, of course, Jamarian Lanham right at the free throw line. He misses. Off the rebound there, though, is Jamal Coles, another junior. And a whistle off the made basket. A delay of game warning will be called on Jalen Withers and the Tigers. So 7:06 left to go in this fourth quarter. The score 59-43. Dribbling at the center circle is Viterio Smith-Lowry. He drives into the paint. Now to the near corner, and traveling actually will be called on the Bearcats. So to go back to the Cleveland Heights Tigers, Dillard will inbound it. So driving to the basket was Jalen Withers. He lost the ball, but tips it back out to Nigel Martin. That was Carlos Hall, number 0, who just checked in. And Nigel Martin, step back 3 off the back rim, no good. Tipped by Withers, but unable to be corralled by the Tigers. Back ahead to Malik Simmons. Now it's Carlos Hill, near corner 3, no good. 6:24 left to go in this game. Dillard ahead now across half court. He'll try to take it to the basket himself. Ball was tipped ahead to Withers. Withers is fouled almost with the and one, but he will head to the basket, to the free throw line rather, as it is 59-43 with 6:15 left to go. And the first free throw from Jalen Withers is up, and it is good. So tack that on to 19 points for Jalen Withers. 6:15 left to go in this game. Christian Dillard checks out in favor of Manny Hill, who's got 7 points. Jalen Withers back to the free throw line. He makes it as well, so he goes 2 for 2 there on the free throw line. 61-43 is the score. Cleveland Heights holding the 18-point advantage. Ahead now to Streeter for the Bearcats. He loses control, but out of bounds off of Manny Hill. So not the start that the Cleveland Heights Tigers would have imagined, or would have envisioned, but now they have opened up an 18-point lead here in the fourth quarter as the Bearcats, with Chase Harris, dribbles right past Jalen Withers. Euro step, no good. Actually an air ball on the free throw. Under 6 minutes remaining. Jalen Withers in transition, wants the three-pointer, and no good that time. It's his first miss from behind the arc tonight. A jump ball is called, and Jamal Coles getting tied up there. So the basketball will stay with the Tigers. Jalen Withers will inbound it. Manny Hill, deep three-pointer attempt, no good there, but it is tipped out and ahead for Trey Miller. Miller in transition, back over to Viterio Smith-Lowry, puts that one up and in. 16-point lead for the Tigers. Greg Pitts the other way. Dribbles through a double team. Now tries to find a way to get it to Withers. He does, and he slams it! 63-45 with an exclamation point from Jalen Withers. 5:19 left to go in the fourth quarter. Malik Simmons left wide open for three, can't hit. Manny Hill back the other way past two defenders. He had a wide open Nigel Martin. Instead, it's Greg Pitts in the corner. No good, but rebounded by Coles, up and in. 65-45 is the lead for Cleveland Heights. Double team there, and oh, it's a foul call on, if that's Jalen Withers, that would be his fifth. That's actually going to be a foul call on Manny Hill. That's his third foul. Jamal Coles will take a seat as he is clutching at his leg there. It looked like he got a bit tied up on that jump ball. So they will head, the Bearcats will head 94 feet the other direction and head to the free throw line. Trey Miller, as that is the 9th team foul on the Cleveland Heights Tigers. So Trey Miller will step to the free throw line. His team trailing 65-45. That first free throw no good. Jalen Withers able to corral it. The quick outlet to Greg Pitts. Pitts at the right wing will drive it and float it. No good off the backboard. Martin with the follow can't hit. Jamal Coles there as well, but taken away by Chase Harris. Harris wanted the three. Instead he'll drive. Has his shot blocked by Jalen Withers. Back out to Viterio Smith-Lowry. Lowry off the right wing. Now to Isaiah Taborn, back to Smith-Lowry. 4:22 left to go in the fourth quarter. Lowry with a spin move. Now the floater from the free throw line up, and it is good. What a nice shot there. And the inbound pass to Withers, a little too far for him, but instead he'll take it all the way down the court, up and in. The Bearcats hadn't even turned around yet on defense, and Withers scooped in there with 24 points. And a good move from Viterio Smith-Lowry. Had Nigel Martin off balance there. 67-47 is the lead. Just under 4 minutes left to go. A timeout will be called by Coach Mike Cruz. It'll be a 30-second timeout, but we will take our own timeout here on HeightsTigers.com. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Nova Title Agency, for this timeout. We'll take a quick break here from Cleveland Heights High School. So back here from Cleveland Heights High School, 3:57 left to go in this fourth quarter. The score is 67-47 as some substitutions back in for Cleveland Heights. That is number 21, Jalen Davis. Davis, a true inside-out big with a high ceiling, according to Coach Cruz. And a good pass there from Chase Harris to Carlos Hall. That'll make it 67-49, 3:37 left to go in the fourth quarter. Manny Hill double-teamed across the half-court line. Has his pass intercepted by Streeter. Streeter ahead to Viterio Smith-Lowry. Will dribble it back out to the right wing and hands it back over to Isaiah Taborn. Smith-Lowry dribbling against Manny Hill. Goes left baseline and had his shot blocked, looking for a foul call. But instead, the rebound goes to Jalen Davis. 3:10 left to go in this game. Manny Hill double-teamed there in the zone defense for the Bedford Bearcats. Now Christian Dillard to the far corner. Manny Hill, three ball, no good. Rebounded by Davis. Davis there trying to spin, gives it to Martin. Martin has it taken away by Chase Harris. Harris 2-on-1. He drives it, tries to put up the layup, no good. But saved by Taborn. And back out to Carlos Hall. Chase Harris now, left elbow jump shot is no good, looking for the foul call. Christian Dillard is fouled in the backcourt, however, with 2:31 left to go in this fourth quarter. So 2:30 left to go in this fourth quarter. The score is 67-49. Christian Dillard will step up to the free throw line as that is the 7th team foul on the Bedford Bearcats. It's a 1-on-1 attempt. It hits the front rim twice and then in. Well done there. Checking in for the Tigers again is Jamarian Lanham, and then checking in for the first time is number 5, Justin Watley. Watley, only a junior, has tons of room to grow. We saw him grow immensely next to Anthony Johnson on the defensive line this year for Coach Max Stevens and the 7-3 varsity football team. Checking in again, Ibn Edward. Dillard's second free throw is up, no good, but rebounded by Justin Watley, back up, can't hit. Nigel Martin will try then and reaches over the back, does Martin. So Martin will be charged with his second foul, and that is the 10th team foul on Cleveland Heights. So that'll be a big talking point for Coach Cruz at the end of this game, is the fouls having been committed by Cleveland Heights. Bedford was in the bonus for almost all of the second half. Good news for the Tigers. Jamal Coles, who looked like he was clutching at his leg, is back out from the athletic trainers table. First free throw from Isaiah Taborn rattles out, no good. And some more subs coming on for the Tigers. Checking in is Jadrian Gant, as well as Cameron Majors. So second free throw attempt coming up for Isaiah Taborn. It is up, and that is too strong again. Rebounded by Gant. Over to Ibn Edward. 2:20 left to go in this fourth quarter. 68-49. Ahead to Gant. Now in the corner for Lanham. Lanham wide open three-pointer. No good. But a loose ball foul looked like it was called. A loose ball foul called on number 5. That's Justin Watley. 2:10 left to go in this fourth quarter. 68-49 is the score. Heading back to the free throw line, Isaiah Taborn. So Taborn, again, too strong. Substitution in now for the Bedford Bearcats is Carlos Hall for Viterio Smith-Lowry. 2:10 left to go in this fourth quarter. 68-49 is the score at the moment. Free throw from Taborn. Did that graze the rim? It went out of bounds. It must have grazed the rim there. But it is no good nonetheless. 68-49 remains the score. And the Bearcats will go full court press. Inbounded to Ibn Edward. 2 minutes on the clock now in this fourth quarter. Cameron Majors across to Lena, back over to Ibn Edward. Edward splits the double team, back over to Gant. Gant tried the reverse layup. Justin Watley on the offensive board. He makes it an even 70 points for the Tigers, 70-49. And Watley on the other end, he takes the charge. Great back-to-back possessions from Justin Watley. 1:38 left to go in the fourth quarter. 70-49. Back is Ibn Edwards across the half-court line, guarded by Chase Harris. The screen is set by Justin Watley. Edward goes left, pulls up from the left elbow, and it is good. Beautiful looking shot there from the sophomore. 1:18 left to go in this fourth quarter. And Chase Harris back the other way. Gant defending, rebounded offensively by Streeter. He double clutches and no good on the shot. Rebounded by Watley. Watley ahead to Majors. Cam Majors tries to throw this one down, and he was not fouled, actually. He just missed the dunk attempt as Ibn Edward able to grab the offensive rebound. Under a minute now, 55 seconds left. Jamarian Lanham tries to split the double team. Offensive foul is called, however. 49.7 seconds left to go. Ball will be inbounded to Chase Harris at the half-court line. 45 seconds left to go in the game. And Harris goes up for it and is fouled, but the ball doesn't go in, so he'll have 2 free throws coming with 42.5 seconds left to go in this game. So stepping back to the free throw line is Chase Harris. 42.5 seconds left to go in this game. 72-49 is the lead for Cleveland Heights. And it stays that way for the moment as that free throw is no good. Chase Harris leads the way for the Bedford Bearcats with 15 points. But that won't be enough tonight as Cleveland Heights look to have clinched this win against their Lake Erie League opponent. That free throw does rattle in as well. So 72-50 is the score for Cleveland Heights. Jamarian Lanham, Justin Watley, Jadrian Gant, Ibn Edward, and Cam Majors are the 5 for the Tigers. Pick coming from Justin Watley. Carrying violation, however, is called. With 35.3 seconds left to go in this game. And so Carlos Hall will take it back for the Bedford Bearcats. He goes right at the elbow. Hall dribbling left, 20 seconds left to go in this game now. Underneath to Streeter. Streeter goes up with it. Right-handed hook shot, no good. Rebounded by Jamarian Lanham. 13 seconds left to go, ahead to Cam Majors. And now to Jadrian Gant. Gant to Lanham. The ball is loose on the floor with 6 seconds left now. Back to Hall. He's got 4 seconds. He's going to have to launch, and a foul will be called with 1.3 seconds left to go. And just as this game has 1 second left to go, the Cleveland Cavaliers lose the second game of a back-to-back to the Charlotte Hornets, 110-99. The Cleveland Cavaliers coming off that thrilling last-second victory over the Indiana Pacers yesterday, as the free throw from Hall is no good. 72-50 is the score here at Cleveland Heights. Carlos Hall steps to the free throw line. And he airballs the second free throw. So the final score here will be 72-50. Your Cleveland Heights Tigers emerge victorious over their Lake Erie League opponent, the Bedford Bearcats. A good conference victory for Coach Mike Cruz and the Bearcats, and the Cleveland Heights Tigers, that is. They advance to 2-1 in Lake Erie League action. And they advance to 4-2 overall on the season. The next time that the Tigers play, we'll give you that game on HeightsTigers.com. And so the Cleveland Heights Tigers hold the Bedford Bearcats to 50 points. And when the Tigers keep their opponent under 60 points, they are 1-0 on the season. That can be made to 2-0 as the Tigers emerge victorious here tonight, 72-50 at home. They will be back in action later this week. That will be December 21st against the Maple Heights Mustangs at 7:30 p.m. That game coming to you from Maple Heights. It is another Lake Erie League action game. So actually, correction, the Cleveland Heights Tigers advanced to 2-0 on Lake Erie League action play. So your final score here from Cleveland Heights High School is 72-50. Leading the way for the Tigers was Nigel Martin all night long. He finished the game with 25 points. And Jalen Withers also finishing with 21 points. That senior tandem putting in enough work for the Tigers to put away the Bedford Bearcats. You're inside the Nova Title Agency post-game show. We'd like to thank you for listening to this broadcast here on HeightsTigers.com. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors, the Wine Spot on Lee Road, the New Heights Grill, Panini's Bar and Grill, Cleveland Heights Dental, and of course, Nova Title Agency. We'd like to thank you for listening to this broadcast. Hopefully you'll be with us December 21st when the Cleveland Heights Tigers take on the Maple Heights Mustangs. But from Cleveland Heights, that'll do it here. The Cleveland Heights Tigers emerge victorious, 72-50. I'm Pat McGuire. Thank you for listening tonight on HeightsTigers.com.